I've looked at people that are getting offers and I've compared them to those who are not. And I've come up with some really interesting facts for you to maybe hopefully implement into your job search. Okay, so the one pattern that I'm seeing over and over again has nothing to do with your experience and qualifications. I've been recruiting for 25 years and I've sat in on thousands of interviews. I know what hiring managers are saying when you leave the room, and I know what's important to them. And I know what's important to me when I interview people. So once you see this, you can't unsee it. And here I am today to tell you the difference between those getting offers and those that are getting constantly rejected. Okay, so on paper, the resumes look similar. Okay, so there might be a little bit of tweaking there, but they are as a whole similar. Same background, same level, even similar answers at first. But the outcome is completely different because one group is waiting to be chosen and the other is shaping the outcome of the interview. And it's very subtle. So let me tell you this. Most candidates that I've talked to initially, when they come to me to be coached, they are sending their resumes everywhere and just hoping that something sticks. And then they apply and, to anything that's even close. But they let the process decide for them. The ones that get hired, they are targeting jobs that are specifically focused on their skill set, at least 80%. Okay. And they know their story, they know how they can fit, they don't chase everything, they position for the right thing, and then they own that. Okay. So most interviews for the candidates, they feel like interrogations because what they do is they answer the questions, they try to say the right thing, they do their best not to mess up. But here's the difference. The candidates that get hired, what they're doing differently is they turn the interview into a conversation. They ask smart questions that are aligned specifically for the role. They go in as with a consulting mentality, find out where the problems are, find out where the pain points are, and they align their skills to meet them where they are. And they make it very easy for the hiring manager to say, this guy is going or gal is going to be great in this role. They're not being evaluated, they're influencing the decision every step of the way in these small, subtle ways. And that's the shift that most people miss that I do teach. The ones that are getting hired make the decision very easy. So here's where the gap gets real obvious to me. I've seen so many candidates put all their eggs in one basket, one recruiter, one interview. Oh, I'm so close. I hope this one works for me. Then they put everything into that. The people getting offers, they move completely different through the process. Instead of applying everywhere, they're networking everywhere in their neighborhoods, on LinkedIn, in their churches, talking to past colleagues, talking to other, men and women that they've reported to over the years. They go back as far as 5 or 10 years, make new connections with them. They're building leverage every step of the way. They reach out to people inside the company that they're hiring with. They start real conversations. They build rapport before it even matters. They create advocates. They follow up with intention, not just checking in, but always reinforcing their value each time. And they don't stop with one shot. They do this all the time. They create a machine and they do this one company after another. And not because they're desperate, because they're in control. So I'm going to ask you to just step back and think about this. This isn't just one trick, it's a completely different shift in your mind. The people who are getting hired, they don't act like candidates, they act like operators. They're not waiting to be chosen, they're actively shaping the outcome of these interviews step by step. So let me ask you this. If you're getting interviews and you're not getting offers, ask yourself, are you doing that? If not, DM me Reboot. I'll work with you for an hour session. We'll find out where the problem is, where you might be going off the rails, and we'll fix it for you. Hope this helps. Be careful out there.